Hello all, hope you're all doing absolutely well. I just got back from a test ride of the CB300R, which I said I'd be doing this week. And what a test ride it's been. The bike has rightfully left me very impressed. I wasn't expecting this. So go ahead, have a look at my ride impressions from the road. And at the end of this video, I have a complete graded sheet of how I grade and rate the various aspects of this motorcycle's experience, overall experience. So come back at the end of the video. I'll be going into a bit of discussion on each aspect of the graded sheet along with what grade I give it, so that it helps you have a complete picture of what this bike is all about. But off the top, it has left me completely impressed. And in the conclusions, I'll also tell you where my mind space is at the moment in terms of whether I'll buy this bike or not. So should be an interesting discussion.
Right, so as you can see, in front of me is actually I'm seated on the CB300 taking a test ride, the all new BS6 2022 CB300, and boy am I impressed. Okay, first thoughts, slight lean angle, but definitely not something which I'm finding uncomfortable, or is something which I think I'll find uncomfortable even on the longer rides. So that's the first observation. My legs are perched slightly higher up compared to where they are on the Himalayan or on the CB350. And the gearing, oh boy, the gearing. Now look, I'm on the third gear. I'm at about 27. It's perfectly pulling, and when I want the power, it's right there. This is how a proper Honda engine is supposed to be, not the disaster engine and the tuning of the CB350. I am impressed with this bike. I am very impressed. This is what a city bike should be. Very compact, gets the job done, gives you a lot of riding pleasure, puts a smile on your face. Oh boy, the clutch, the slipper and assist clutch, light as a feather. City usage, absolutely, I can just push it into any corner. Filtering is a breeze. The footprint, the physical footprint of the bike is exactly what it needs to be, nothing less, nothing more. In front of me, in my field of view, there is very little bike that I can actually see, because the footprint is quite short and the bike actually ends. So it's a lot more engagement with the road and very less bike to look at. In fact, unless I intentionally look down, I don't see any physical footprint of the bike. Now that could be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on what is your preference. And the seat is a bit on the harder side, but it's absolutely comfortable. There is nothing wrong there. But what I am most surprised is the rider's triangle, which with my weight and with my tummy issues and with my fat stomach and my 104 kilos of weight, I thought this will be a very uncomfortable bike because of the slight commit position that it has. But it's absolutely fine. The exhaust note, quite sweet, a bit Duke sounding, a bit of a Duke sort of sound to the exhaust. Beautiful instrument cluster, very minimal, but tells you everything that you need to know. In other words, this is the perfect city bike. Look at the power. Look at the power. Oh boy. Oh boy. Very impressed. Very, very impressed. The kind of engagement which it gives you with the riding. I am slightly hunched over forwards because of how the handlebar is. And surprising that there is not much even in the third gear. Even it pulls from 23. This is how a bike should be. You should not be changing gears frequently. This is how a bike is supposed to be. Oh, CB Highness, how did you get the gearing and power so wrong? So wrong for city usage. Very comfortable, very, very comfortable. I wouldn't be surprised if I buy this bike. I came here prepared to come up with all sorts of excuses and reasons not to buy this bike, and how I can justify not buying this bike and selling the CB350. But boy, am I impressed, am I impressed. So impressive this bike is. Oh my god. In all fairness, I have no rights to be so excited about this bike because I am about to be 45 years soon, and somebody my age, at least from a pure stereotyping perspective, we guys are supposed to be more comfortable with cruisers type of bikes, and not this kind of a sporty engaging bike. This is supposed to be, in theory, for the youngsters, but oh boy, look at this, look at this. That's the thing which puts a smile on your face. That's exactly what you want. How about the brakes? Let's do a hard braking test. Oh, stops immediately. Immediate stop. Of course, this was not a surprise because it's Nissan calipers. The bite is super good, but nothing which scares the socks off you. I love this bike. In case I haven't said it before, I love this bike. Oh boy. Suspension is adequate. I didn't feel anything for those rumble strips which I crossed. Absolutely nice bike. Absolutely nice. Oh, the clutch is unbelievable. Feather light clutch. Feather light clutch. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Look at this. This bike is fun with a capital F. Right, so again the GoPro had switched off, so I'm not sure how much it recorded. I kept giving all sorts of reactions and expressions, but when I just checked casually in the mirror, it had switched off. So here is the CB300 first ride impressions. I have been riding this for about 20 minutes now. As whole today I've been recording my reactions and impressions on my first ride review of the CB300. I'm really not sure how much has been recorded and when it stopped recording, but absolutely fun bike. Totally loving the experience so far. Slight bit of commit angle, but nothing to complain about. Very good low gearing performance. In the third gear, it can manage from up to 20 kilometers per hour. Super feather light clutch. Legs slightly tucked up and slightly rear set, but nothing to complain about. The commit angle is not at all bothering me. In other words, a very easy city bike to ride, which is exactly what I expected it to be. Seat is exactly the right amount of hardness, neither too soft nor too hard. And yeah, fun with a capital F, capital U, capital N. Fun. Absolutely minimal and very functional speedo. Tells me exactly what I need to know, nothing less, nothing more. And the pull, oh my god, the pull brings back all the excitement to performance motorcycling in this category, in the 300cc category. Absolutely, it's a hoot. It's a hoot. Look at this, look at this. The lightness of the bike, oh my god. So light, so nimble. Look at the speed, look at the pickup. Absolutely no engine heating, can you believe it? With this sort of an engine, absolutely no engine heating. This is always what I wanted my Duke 390 to be, which it never was. The heat, the fan constantly switching itself on and off, drove me nuts to no end, which is why it went quite no heat from the engine. Still doing good. I'm still recording. Absolute joy to ride. Absolute joy to ride. There is not a damn thing I can find wrong with this bike. I had to force myself to find something which I don't like. I suppose the fuel tank, for one. 9.7 liters isn't exactly gold class, but for a city bike it's good. And with the mileage of about 33 or 35 or so, which this bike is supposed to be in the range of in terms of fuel economy, not too bad. So smooth, so refined. I don't know how Honda manages to do this. Kings of refinement. What a sense of engagement with the road. It pulls from 35 in the 4th gear, can you believe it? That's second gear territory for the CB350. Very weak sounding horn. A better horn will be needed for sure. Look at that, 33 in the 4th gear and it pulls. That's how city gearing is supposed to be. That is how the city gearing is supposed to be. 23 in the 3rd gear, 22 in the 3rd gear, and it still doesn't complain. What a bike.
This is a CB300R which is getting ready for delivery. So they're doing the PDI checks, and I just took the opportunity to look at one of the PDI ready bikes. And as you can see, it's a metal tank underneath, completely metal, top quality, top solid quality. You can see the fit and finish where the fuel lid goes. Quite nice. And under the seat you have a little bit of space. So just to give you an idea, this is my fist. Completely goes in. You can probably keep a raincoat, a folded raincoat, or you can keep some small bits and bobs under the seat. So that's just to give you an idea of what's under the seat and how much of it's like a small cubby hole basically. And yeah, just briefly wanted to show you what's underneath the plastic tank which is lying there. So they will fit it on top of this, and then the bike will be ready for delivery. So yeah, that's about it.